Germanis, how can I reduce lower back pain when doing overhead presses? I try tightening my abs but doesn't seem to help. Should I pull my shoulder back? So what you're describing there is you get a tight lower back when you're pushing up above you. Now, generally speaking, if you've got a tight lower back anyway, you're arching your back and you're trying to kind of get your chest up, you're trying to bring more of the chest muscle into the movement. Try doing them seated. Make sure you've got a good lumbar posture. You've already said about engaging the core, but try going a bit lighter on the weight too. Make sure your back is completely in there, engaged, okay? There's no gap between the chairs, so sit down, go a bit lighter. Another thing you can do is if you've got a bench in front of you, put your feet up onto the bench while sat on the chair, because the minute you bring your knees up, you're going to compress in, and then slightly lighter weight and maybe go slightly higher and just burn the shoulders out that way.
You can also look at your posture and mobility, because if you don't have the shoulder flexibility to really bring your arms back, so I go to the side here, if I was kind of like rotating backwards, and if I couldn't get to that position, if I go right to the side, if I can't get to this position to then push upwards, say for instance you do this and you can only get to there, suddenly to push upwards, your lower back has to work quite a long way to be able to then push up, yeah? So you need to then work on this external rotation to make sure that you can get that arm all the way back, so you can actually just push upwards and you can actually maintain a strong core. But like Rab said, you can then become stronger if you lean back ever so slightly and actually able to get the shoulders back, rather than everything coming from the lower back. You actually get the shoulders back, and then you can then use the chest muscles to push up a little bit more. But just make sure your mobility is there, that you can actually perform that movement. Because if not, you're going to compensate using your lower back, and it becomes what do you call, like a moot exercise. It's more pointless than it is pointful.
I know that personally when I'm doing shoulder press, I don't have any bother until I start going beyond the weight that I probably should be doing for good form. And if I'm not completely stretched off properly, I find myself doing it, I lean back a bit more to get that extra rep in. So sometimes just be mindful of the weight that you're lifting as well for form.